Hello guys, how are we doing today? Man, what a victory, what a victory. I'm so happy for this game. It was exciting to watch. It had a good rhythm to it. And can we talk about the Pedri Messi connection? Ooh, that is fire. Absolute straight fire. I am honestly pretty much just ecstatic. Imagine that. Imagine Messi leading the revolution and had Pedri and also Ansu Fati behind him. We're talking about something that is looking pretty tasty by the date. And just as a video that we make pretty soon on the channel, just very recently, we were talking about how this comes down to Messi actually realizing that the youngsters in this team can make it so he wants to renew. It is when we have that idea, that possibility, that Messi realizes that the chances to improve the team are actually here rather than elsewhere. That's when we're going to be seeing a proper squad develop. I'm just really happy for the entirety of it. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the future because in reality, it's I think the turnaround of this team, the actual future, the stellar squad that we need to win a Champions League, like I also said on another video, once again, it's closer. It's not that far away. I don't believe it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years to get there. It's just going to be very soon. I'm pretty excited because of it. So guys, let me know your opinions. Let me know what you think of this game. It was pretty much just a show. It was a show. It's a theater. It was like going to watch, I don't know, a movie at the cinema. It was just a spectacle. It was really was. So what are all of you saying? We have here Christian Gomez saying, you think that formation really... I don't know if you're talking to me or to talk to someone else, but you're saying something about wing backs on the formation. We're going to be talking about the formation later on in today's live stream because the formation for me is something that really gave Barcelona a new look in this side. And we don't know whether Koeman is going to continue with this past the Christmas break, past the holidays, but certainly it is something that I would like to see more of because in my opinion, this formation gave us new tools per se, or gave players the ability to perform their roles in a much better and complete way. I just see so much fire right now on the squad, mainly because of one guy that is just copying and pasting the message, just spamming in other words, but it's fine. You're allowed to do that for now just because of the sheer fire that this game was. It really was. Gilwan Moassini, well, I better read your message before you burn this entire chat. You say, oh my God, Messi, Pedri, Pjanic, Mats, and this was the best referee I have seen in a long time. I never honestly looked much into the referee. Like today, I think he had no effect at all. And that is what you want to see from a referee, to be as unbiased as possible. You just want to go and see a football game where the referee has no impact. And that is honestly what we all want to see, right? Because the referee's role should be that of someone who is as unbiased as possible. And I think that today I agree with you, Gilwani. I agree that he was the best that I have seen in a while. And Messi, Pedri, Pjanic, Mats, it was pretty good. I want to see on the chat now, as we get more viewers, what for you would be the podium. I think this could be an interesting section that we have here for us on the channel where we go and say the 3 best players that we see so far in this game. So for me, Messi was at the top, at the helm of the podium today. He takes the first place spot. In second, I would like to go with Pedri. I think Pedri was almost as impeccable as you can get, showing this mix of just energy and determination with skill and prolificness. I don't even know if that's a word, but versatility. He's incredible in everything, in every position that he plays. Pedri is just so free. The way that he connects with Messi, the way that he is able to find the spaces, and most importantly, not afraid to track back and go and pressure the opposition. I think that is what makes you a complete player. And Pedri has basically, like I said, all of it. He is really looking like the real deal. In halftime, when I was going to fill my whatever this is called with water, I thought when going to the kitchen, like, what could Pedri look in 10 years? And the thing in my mind wasn't necessarily that he would look better. And that tells you just levels of what Pedri is actually today. Of course, he's going to be with better quality. Of course, he's going to be able to be smarter in the play. Of course, he's going to develop a more imposing presence from the terms of physicality. Of course, all of that is going to come. He's just 18. But when you take a look at what he actually does in terms of level, it is of a top player. It really is of a top player. If Barcelona are lining up for the Champions League final tomorrow, Pedri is on that lineup. And that is something that he has earned literally by performances. Literally by just playing his way into the side. And that is such a breath of fresh air, because when you take a look at what Barcelona had to live with in the month prior, you see a team that was dictated by money, dictated by wages, dictated by players that literally played because of their name and what they have done in the past, not what they're doing now. Pedri is the opposite. Pedri is playing better than the rest, and he is playing most games, and I like that. I really, really like that. So now let's go into the super chat of Tarek Yunis. Once again, Tarek, how are you? Great to see you once again here on the stream. You say, hey Buga, great win today that should give us more confidence going into Christmas. Some people will say it's versus a struggling Valladolid side, but still a win is a win. Very excited about the youngsters too. I agree with you, Tarek, in almost everything there. I really do believe that this team is progressing and is looking to become probably one of the most youthful sides we've seen in a while. You take a look at big teams in the European elite, I don't see that many teams that are playing these current youngsters. Mainly Liverpool per se, but that is because Liverpool have those injuries. Barcelona is playing these youngsters out of necessity. They are literally the best players that we have on the field. If we're lining up, like I said, that team tomorrow for the Champions League, Ansu Fati is there, Serginho Dest is there, Pedri is playing there, Araujo is playing there. You just see these new faces, these youngsters in the side, and that is great to see. Amazing, amazing. I love it. I love it. I really, really do. Anurit R saying, Hat was epic. I don't know what Hat is. Maybe you mean Mats? I don't know. Very flowing gameplay, smooth, like you said, a theater. The formation seems spot on, and the players all connected so well. But do you think that they pass a bit too much near the penalty area? I don't really know whether they pass too much. That is something that I'm not in a position to question. I'm not the manager. I don't look too much into that. But I do get the struggle that where you're coming from. There are some instances where, for instance, you just need to shoot, and I get that. But I also do believe that this team shoots a little bit more than others that we see out far. You see Sergio Dest, Jordi Alba, perhaps, being the two main victims of this. You know, their instruction is to go as far as they can to the sideway line and simply be able to pass it back, right? That is what you want to see, pass it back for a low cross. And there are some instances where you just say, Alba, shoot, patea, porque literalmente, because he literally has the opportunity to do so, right? He has almost an open net, he has a good angle. But it's just something that as soon as they get more confidence, as soon as the team develops the understanding between them, we will see these players get that trust in themselves, gain that trust, their confidence, and be able to shoot like that. But I think that really shouldn't be a too much of a problem, to be honest. I really don't think that is too much of a problem. Tarek saying, for me, as repetitive as it might sound, Messi was the best player on the pitch. Also, I'm very happy with Pedri and his combos with Messi. Vamos. I agree. The combination between Pedri and Messi was incredible. It really, really was. The link-up play between them, and like this is something that Messi also shared with Ricky Puig and Ansu Fati, because since these players come from La Masia, they have the same sort of level of understanding and the same level of capability of reading those spaces, kind of how they teach you at La Masia. Because La Masia, people forget, is not just a place where you play football, where these youngsters play football. It's a place where you develop values, where you develop certain practices and habits. And that is something that you will see more of the time from people that go to the same school, they go to the same university. You gain these certain skills, these certain ways of looking at life, and in this case, as football, in a certain way. And that is perhaps why Messi is understanding himself better alongside those players. And the cool thing about it, the great thing about it, is that it really isn't that just Pedri, Ansu Fati, Araujo, all of these Masia graduates are not only kind of, you could say, they're not particularly just benefiting from playing with Messi, but also they are benefiting and helping Messi. Messi is playing better around them. It's not the other way around, it's vice versa. And I love that. I really, really do. We go now to Abdullah Pes Mobile saying, why you are not talking about Ter Stegen? He was brilliant as always. I was going to get to Ter Stegen here. I have my list of things that I'm going to talk about in no particular order by any means. And Ter Stegen is there, so don't worry, we'll get there. But just because you mentioned it, I think we should just go ahead and say it. The two shots that we saw from Real Valladolid in the second half, where Ter Stegen just goes like takes one out and then stands up very quickly and then goes up and saves it again from long range, it's incredible. The commentator was saying how Ter Stegen really is underlooked, and I do agree with that so much. Ter Stegen is a player, a player of true class. And most importantly, you see in every single chance that he gets that reaction, the quick reactions, and that is something, that is skill. That is skill that takes a long time to develop. And I'm very pleased that we have someone like Tercen in our behind our post. Really, I really like Tercen. He's one of my favorite players that exists right now in world football, and mainly because of that quick reactions, that ability to never give up. And others, for instance, when they go for that first save, they wouldn't stand up back in time to go for the second, but Tercen does. And that is the difference between him and between just, I would say, an average goalkeeper and a world-class goalkeeper. That really is for me. I think it was pretty good. Abhid Diane is saying, today's formation is good against low block teams. And you know what? Before, oh yeah, Jukapi says, Pedri is not La Masia graduate, but yes. And actually, that adds a lot to La Masia, right? And also Christian Gomez says that he wasn't from Leganés academies. He actually started in Tenerife and then went to Las Palmas, developing Las Palmas for 2.5 years, and then came to Barcelona. So actually, I want to elaborate and apologize for that from what Yuka P said, that Pedri is not from La Masia, and that just adds, I would say, to the quality of this young kid, because you're seeing in Pedri someone that is able to understand himself in this philosophy, and something that he learned mainly by his own. If that's the case, that means that Pedri is just someone that is learning all these traits, all these things by his own. And that just adds to it. He's able to match the quality, the output, and the vision of game that you see from, well, said La Masia graduate. So thank you for reminding me that. And indeed, you're right. I don't know how I forgot that. I knew that. I just forgot. I just got involved thinking about Ansu Fati and just confused him right there. But yes, they're very good. They're very good overall. I really like it. So mentioning the formation, I would like to open up the thread, the discussion on why Barcelona's formation was so good today. So if you're just joining in, guys, as we go into this discussion about the formation, let me know your podium. What would be your top 3 players of today? Once again, for me, they were Messi, Pedri, and probably in third, I will go with Pjanic, or it could be Tercen. I'm just going to go Tercen, but Pjanic is really close. Pjanic was doing really close. So, well, let's go and talk about this formation, because this formation is something that in my head, I also had it quite planned out. I'm not taking credit from anyone who may have thought about this formation first, certainly. But when you take a look at Barcelona's problems, what were they? One, they were very narrow. They're a team, they are very narrow. So when they're facing these kind of low blocks, they don't have that ability to open up and stretch out that defense. That is a problem that Barcelona had a lot of the time. One, they were narrow. Second problem that Barcelona has is that they were very bad in transition when going into defense. And mainly because of 2 things. One, the center backs were very slow, and most of the time they will be caught out of position. And why was they caught out of position? Well, because their midfield of Barcelona that we had in front did not support them in any way, shape, or form. So when you have this kind of just endless no man's land between the midfield and the defense, it is really simple for even the basics of players, just someone who is pretty fast, to exploit that. And that is something that Koeman has realized. And you have to give praise for Koeman in doing that, because not too many not too many managers are going to have the ability to just go as far and shift that, make that change. And actually, guys, I'm going to keep in there and make that change. And I'll say how the formation improved. But actually, I want to give you more time to comment, guys. So I'm going to go to my studio and make it so you can comment faster, actually, because I think it's a little bit too slow. It appears a little bit too slow on my side of things. So just bear with me 1 second and you'll be able to comment faster. Hopefully that's all what you want. Just give me 1 sec. I'll make it so you can chat quicker. Put something on TV. Whilst we are on that, have you ever heard Glass Animals? Oh my god, I love them. Amazing band. Amazing band. How do I do this? Stream marker, share, insert ad. I can add ads. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know where I changed the chat, honestly. I remember it was somewhere around here. Oh, okay, here it is. Live chat. And we have seconds between messages. It's right now 15. I'll make it. Let's try it with 8 seconds. You know what? Let's try 8 seconds. Okay, so the key about this formation, it is something that you've seen all other previous teams, you could say perhaps, they have improved. And particularly you could say that teams like something that Pep Guardiola was doing before, trying to kind of go ahead and clear up their defensive deficiencies by playing a back three. And I like what Camp Nou has done here, because when you're in transition, simply because you're playing a back three, you already have an extra name, an extra defender, an extra player in that area of the field. And that gives you the possibility of just having less control when you're defending, which is good. Why? Because you just have more names. It's simple math. You just have more names. You're not gonna have you're not gonna have kind of this nice transition like Barcelona had before, but at least you're defending better. And I believe that is something that. Do you stream with a delay, BugaLuisFC? I stream with a bit of delay because of my internet right now. It's not the best. When I go back to the UK, to England, I'll be able to stream with much faster internet. Like Peru's internet is not the best. I get like 80 megs. In England, I can get like 350 for the same price, which is just incredible, honestly. First world countries and their internet is probably one of the best things about them. Politics, taxes is another thing all completely. But getting back into the game, that is what I really like about it. So if you have Ronaldo Araujo, Lenglet, and Minguez, you have 3 names in defense. And then you have the 2 fullbacks pushing forward. That is good because you're going to get that creation from the side. And on top of that, when you're defending and people are trying to exploit those spaces between the midfield and the defense, you already have a line of 4. A line of 4 midfielders that are ready to cover for that. And also, in return, in attack, it allows Barcelona to be as wide as they want to be. This line of 4 is able to then shift further forward, and Jordi Alba and Serginho Dest, or Serginho Dest and Jordi Alba, are able to exploit that easier. Those flanks, that is going to open up way easier. And also, what we saw in the front three helped us a lot, because we saw MESSI and Braithwaite playing almost kind of at the same line, at the same height. And then we saw PEDRI a little bit in behind. So kind of similar to what Quique Setién played before, but it was this time around, instead of Riqui Puig, it was PEDRI operating there. And I believe also that Riqui Puig would play very nice in that position where Riqui Puig played today. Simply that free roaming possibilities are endless. You can go to the left, you can go to the right, you can come inside and defend. That is something that PEDRI, you just have to complement a lot. Defending-wise, PEDRI is incredible, because he may not be the best tackler. He may not be the best kind of player with a defensive awareness, but he's a player that is determined to get there. If you're able to see a space in behind, PEDRI can go there and try to win the ball back. And that initial first pressure goes a long way when you try to win the ball back and then continuously attack. I really like that. And on top of that, this formation allowed Frankie de Jong alongside Pjanic, and Pjanic is a pivotal part to this formation. Why? I'll explain a bit. But De Jong had that capability to just be once again free as he would have liked to be in teams like Ajax. He could come and get the ball back between the 2 center backs, or also he can go and stretch to the left, stretch to the right, and join the attack whenever he wanted to. He was the metronome of this side, and basically because Pjanic was just sitting in behind, the defensive duties that Pjanic had to carry out were not as big because we had those extra numbers in defense. And Pjanic, if you look at Pjanic very nicely in this game, Pjanic was not moving. Pjanic was not running, was not doing that much. Pjanic was static and also just drifting the game slowly from one side to the other. And the important thing, and why I think he's better suited to this formation over Sergio Busquets, because he had the long passing overhead. How many times did Pjanic pass the ball to Jordi Alba through a cross, a very long cross, or to Serginho Dest, or cut it through to Lionel Messi or to Martin Braithwaite? It was a lot of times. And Pjanic has that above Sergio Busquets. His passing in that sort of sense is better than Busquets. And I like that from Pjanic, because it gives Barcelona this ability to play to those long balls. And by playing those long balls, you give the opposition team less time to I would say, to defend, or less time to get into that defensive block. And that is where I believe Barcelona can catch teams off guard. Imagine a team like Bayern Munich. A team like Bayern Munich leaves a lot of gaps in defense. But why are they so good? Because they return to a defensive shape very fast as well. If you then play with those long balls and exploit that, they have no time to do that at all. And Pjanic is pivotal in doing so. And on top of that, teams like Liverpool, for instance, they also do that. You see how Aston Villa exploited Liverpool in the 7-2 win that they had. They did exactly that. They had a player in John McGinn that just pinged the balls to the runner in behind. It could be Jack Grealish, it could be Oli Watkins. I don't know if you watch Aston Villa or Liverpool by any means, but that is a game that was very similar to what we saw today, because Barcelona were exploiting Real Valladolid in that way. And I love that. And Barcelona could continue with this formation, in my opinion, because more importantly, we have the players to do it. If we want to see the best lineup, perhaps utilizing this formation, I would say the back three was pretty much impeccable. The two fullbacks were incredible as well. On top of that, Sergi Roberto could be an incredible player for the right. We've seen already how when Luis Enrique changed in his second season the formation after La Remontada against PSG, he changed the formation to be something very similar to this. And Sergi Roberto was incredible at doing that role, because Roberto is a player that is good attacking-wise. We all know how good Sergi Roberto is when going forward. But defending-wise, he's not that good. He's not that capable to read in those runners that kind of exploit the spacing behind him. So playing as a carrilero, playing as a right wing-back, Sergio Roberto could be a real threat. And I'm not saying he should start over Sergio Dest, but basically you're giving more options to your squad. You are playing now players in sort of their best position, and I like that. It might not be the Barcelona way, but it's allowing for the team that we currently have to be as effective as possible. And I love that from this team. I really enjoyed this formation. I really, really did. And I think we can continue to move forward. The question for me now is whether Braithwaite is going to be continuing to be that number 9, and how we're going to be able to include Antoine Griezmann into this side, or Coutinho likewise. Because the difference is that Coutinho here and Antoine Griezmann don't have too much room to play around, you could say that. For instance, someone like Griezmann would have to play in the position of Messi, and someone like Coutinho would have to play in the position as PEDRI. Of course, Koeman would be more inclined to take out PEDRI because he's younger, but based on form, he shouldn't really do that. And on top of that, we have less attackers overall. For instance, a player that could really, really just be in a disadvantaged position after this is someone like Trincao. If, for instance, Ronald Koeman sees this as the new formation that we should continue to go forward, maybe a loan move for Francisco Trincao would be the very best thing, because Trincao is literally just a natural right winger and he needs to exploit the right hand side to be the best that he can be. And at Barcelona, he doesn't get that in this formation because Roberto or Dest are going to be the players doing that. So I would say you could loan Trincao out and then get somebody like Memphis Depay for 5 million. If you get Memphis Depay, you get someone that could do the job that Martin Braithwaite is doing, just pinning the defenders so that then Pedri and Messi have the room to play their game, to have that connection that makes them really, really good. So if we're going to continue with this, I do see the signing of Memphis Depay, as cheap as it is, as someone who could be a good opportunity for Barcelona to get some new, fresher outlook into the attack. I like Memphis Depay. 5 million euros in this formation makes it a great signing for me, honestly. Really, really great signing. So what are you saying, guys, in the comment section? Before I continue with my talking points here, I'm going to be eliminating some. So let's say we already talked about Messi a lot in this game, plus he broke the record from a certain someone, from Pelé. That is good to see. Did you see that Pelé changed his Instagram? He changed, like, he had that he had like a thing that said 643 goals in all competitions with one club, incredible tally, something like that. And then he changed that because Messi beat him. He changed it to 1,243 goals in all history, which is just dumb because he's counting goals of, like, I don't know, friendlies. You know, you don't count that. So we talked about Messi. We talked about Pedri a lot. We talked about the three at the back, the defense. We have to talk about Umtiti. We already talked about Busquets. We talked about De Jong. We talked about Pjanic, Ter Stegen, Dest, and Alba. I think there are just two more things to talk about, so I'll leave them for later. Now I want to head into your chat. So Let's go with William Gray. Could you please unban me? You are not banned because I can see your comment. So it's there. Cristian Romero. Roberto over Pjanic. Why not try and give him a chance in the midfield where he learned to play as La Masia? In this formation, it could work. In the last formation, the 4-2-3-1, it could work also. For me, Roberto is a much better midfielder than he's a right back, because he has that ability to kind of run into the play, right into the attack. I like that. He's sort of a weaker Goretzka, not as buff as Goretzka, but he can do a role like that, and I like it from Sergio Roberto. I don't know if he's gonna be as physically imposing as players who normally exercise that role, but like you say, he played in La Masia, so he has probably some sort of understanding there, and that would be good to see for Barcelona. Abhijit Diane is saying, as Alba is suspended for the next game, do you think we can try play Alejandro Valde from La Masia instead of Firpo? I would love to play Alejandro Valde, or to be honest, when I play in my FIFA career mode, literally, I created a player called Alejandro Valde because I was done with Firpo in FIFA, so I am playing him there. So yeah, I am a very big fan of Valde, and I would love for him to enter and play in that game. I don't know if that could happen. I think it will probably be Firpo, but yeah. X Prime 10 saying, I think Koeman is the right man, but due to injuries and Griezmann missing goals per game, we drop points. I think Koeman is alright, because what I like about Koeman is that he's not afraid to make those drastic decisions. You know, whilst Valverde and Quique Setién just sort of were led by an agenda, Koeman doesn't care. And that is honestly what you need. You need someone who believes that his way is the right way. And Koeman is doing that. So I like that. And even so, Koeman is not as drastic to the point where he sticks to only one formation or sticks to with one idea. He has realized that is not the way. How can I make this team better? How can I improve? How can I rethink my strategy? And next to Alfred Schauder, next to Henrik Larsson, they have come together, they have devised a plan, and we saw this formation today. And I like it. And I like that formation. I really, really do. We are going to lose 20 million. Should we stop playing Coutinho? Honestly, I think that situation is much more important and we should read more into it. Normally, I would say that doesn't really matter too much, and Barcelona already probably has money for that. But I don't know. Under Bartomeu, I'm not too sure whether Barcelona has like a little pot to the side that says this is just for Coutinho. It would be interesting to realize whether Barcelona care about it or not. So far, we don't know. So I don't think we should comment more on that. Abef saying, would we still use formation with Ansu and Ousmane Dembélé? I think that is a key thing. And I like it because it's true. Ansu Fati, probably Ansu Fati would be good enough in this formation. Yes, certainly as one of the two up top. Someone like Ousmane Dembélé would struggle a bit. But the thing that could be good for Barcelona in the long run is that we have these options in our back. So we meet a game like Bayern, where we need to be more careful in defense. Go ahead, play the 3 at the back or the 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. Play that formation. If you're playing against teams like Atalanta, that you need to go and attack and just exploit their spaces in behind, go with the normal 4-2-3-1, go with a 4-3-3, use the pace to exploit it. It's not bad to have many formations in your back. It's just whether you know when and how to use them. And Barcelona right now are showing that in this formation, they can play good. We need to see more in the long run. We need to see more how this develops. The 4-2-3-1 is perhaps in the short term not good enough as this formation, but in the long run could be better. We just have to continue and see how we develop with these different systems. X Prime 10 saying, Buga, did you like Messi's work ethic today? Yes, a lot. I really like. I'm someone who likes work ethic, and probably for me, it's one of the main things that stands and divides players. If I see a player that works harder than another, I'm gonna like him more because it means that his mentality is in a better place, you could say. And Messi today, his mentality was shifted completely because I believe before he played kind of with this baggage on his back, or he played with this pain in his chest, something that didn't let him be as free as normal as he normally was. But this time around, Messi was better all around. I really enjoyed Messi. He was playing more freely. I don't know if it was the record. I don't know that is the time. I don't know if it's that it's almost Christmas, or mainly what I think it is the interview that he did. He did an interview very recently where he talked about a lot of things in Barcelona. And he talked about how he's feeling okay at Barcelona, how his main priority is to stay, and how he's actually feeling very happy. So I think by saying that, he has sort of kind of revealed something, and he just is off this pressure. The pressure is off his chest and allows him to play freely. So I like that. I really, really do. Shamil Bakar saying, someone deleted your message just for spamming. I'm very sorry, Shamil. As soon as you can comment, can you send that message again? I'm not gonna blame the mods here. You're doing your job. It's just a series of unfortunate events. Mihailo Boharonic saying, I'm just gonna call you Mihailo. Tell me if your name is pronounced like that. I don't know. What do you think it is true that? What do you think? Is it true that Xavi isn't coming to Barca because he wants to help Qatar organize World Cup? I wouldn't read too much into it. It's just that sometimes we as people believe that all these things are kind of structured, and Xavi is probably thinking in many different options. If Victor Font doesn't win the elections, his project with him is not there. I mean, I don't know if Laporta has asked for Xavi, so that is something that we would need to know, we would need to understand. But Xavi is probably thinking, if Victor Font wins, well then I leave Qatar and go with him. And if Victor Font doesn't win, then I stay with Qatar until 2022, because he has those options. He's a man that has opportunities. So why close the doors even before you know the result of them? Just leave all doors open, all possibilities open, and see what's going to happen. I think that is what's happening really with Xavi at the moment. Yo TV saying, bro, when we lack natural wingers, we can play this formation with fullbacks as wingbacks to give us width, but we're still lacking. What? Fullbacks as wingbacks to give us width. We're lacking. Oh yeah, give us the width that we are lacking. And but when Ansu and Melero are back, we should go to the 4-3-3 IMO. I think once again, like I said, Joe is mainly due to, in my opinion, depends on the opponent. A lot of the time, we like to think that the best teams always rely on this same formation. But even though they have the same formation, they play a little bit differently depending on that opponent. And Barcelona right now are not in that position where they can just have an imposing system that excel and beat every single other team. We need to be humble in a way and realize that Barcelona at this stage needs to be more of a survivor rather than a imposing team, I guess. So when we see the next team, what can be the best thing to beat them? I think that is the way that Barcelona need to think. So for now, I really like we have that many options. Hope 5 Smash 0 says, Jamie suggested this formation 2 weeks ago. Oh, really? Did Jamie suggested this formation? I guess that it wasn't that difficult to see then. Like, honestly, when you think about how you can nullify defenses or a bad defense's transition, it's simply just putting more names at the back. And that is something that, well, Koeman saw, and it's good that many people are seeing it, especially someone like Jamie, because since he has that influence over so many Barca fans, you can just spread that good news, I guess. And of course, for instance, let's say if Jamie didn't say that and Barcelona played this formation and they lost, many people are going to be like, this formation is bad, I don't know this, I don't know that. But if Jamie said that formation was good, and even if we lost, a lot of Barca fans are going to be like, you know what, let's give it a little more chance, things like that. That's how media works, right? And sometimes when you have power, let's admit it, Jamie has a lot of power, right? Because he's, I think, the biggest YouTuber that covers Barcelona on YouTube, or YouTuber on YouTube. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. I agree with him. That formation, for me, my opinion, is pretty good. Eugene Ansa saying, how did RB Leipzig steal Dominic? Our scouting has been really awful over the past couple of years. Missed out on Alphonso Davies, Haaland, Benjamin Mendy, I think we dodged a bullet there. According to many reports, his attitude is not the best. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But certainly we missed out on Haaland. We missed on Alphonso Davies. And Dominic Szoboszlai is such a good player. My goodness. Have you seen that kid play? He's so fast, so good from dead balls. I would have loved to see Dominic Szoboszlai in a team like Barcelona. But ultimately, a team like RB Leipzig, like it or not, is going to be sort of like a stepping stone. So there's time. Of course, it may be for more money, but I don't know. I'm really happy to see how Szoboszlai is going to do in Leipzig, because let's be realistic. In contrast to Barcelona, Szoboszlai is going to get the time and the opportunities, the chances to a good consistent level. And at RB Leipzig, he's gonna do that. I love that. I love that he actually went to a club where he's gonna get that opportunities. And on top of that, let's not be so stupid. RB Leipzig connection, the RB link, right? Of course, they're gonna make the transition easier. They don't work as the same entities, but they're in the same family. You know, you don't have to like your family; you have to love them. Saif Bakash saying, Barca really have to keep up winning rate to put in a good performance against PSG. Indeed. If you haven't seen the podcast that we made, the very first episode of the Engine Room, you can go and check it out right now on the channel. And there we talk about PSG Barcelona, how me and Pablo, my co-host for the show, amazing dude. Pablo Wolves Blanco, or Pablo, I think is his YouTube channel. We talk about how Barcelona actually had to do a lot better to be able to beat this PSG side, because PSG right now may not be the best, but Barcelona are just in such a horrible run of performances that really doesn't give you any hope. So as soon as we continue to improve and we can actually settle down information like we saw right now, I'm pointing at my TV, how we saw right now, we may have better chances to beat PSG, because one thing that you need to beat any team whatsoever in this day and age is some sort of consistency. So against PSG, I feel we can win, but we need to improve. We're improving. We are improving. I'll give you that. Michaelo Boyadarich saying, no, biggest Barca YouTuber is Vizca Barca from Germany, 1.6 million subs. Oh, really? I haven't heard him. Let me take a look. Isn't he the guy that Barca kind of got from to Twitch, you know, so that he could actually stream for Twitch for them? Isn't him that guy? Let me see. Oh yeah, Vizca Barca 1.3 million subscribers. But does he just do football, or does he do more stuff? Oh no, you're right. He does a lot of content here. I've never heard of this guy. I never have heard of him before. Just realized it. Richard Cadane saying, I think that Koeman has to bench some big names to get the best starting lineup. I agree with you. I mean, he already benched Coutinho and Griezmann here. So, of course, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. And that, for me, is the best thing. Even though I like Griezmann, even though I like Coutinho, ultimately, you need the best performance to play. And that is what we're seeing right now, right? What is our best 11 according to you? What is my best 11 according to me? Well, let's do it. But before that, I just want to read these two comments from Kule Luke. He says, if Luis Enrique had this squad, would be on top of the league, wouldn't have got embarrassed by Juventus. Probably. Luis Enrique is a manager that is really quick to instate this sort of rhythm into their side. So probably would be more consistent so far. And Adam Buxo, how do you pronounce that? Let me know. Soboslai is the best player in our country. Oh, so you're from Hungary. Let me not fuck up. Soboslai is Hungary, right? I think he's Hungary. In our country. He has such a great potential. Barca like a player like him. Just imagine him and Frankie in our midfield. Oh, my goodness. That would be impressive. So actually, let's go and do the lineup. Should we? Wait. Mihailo Boyadarich, a suggestion for your podcast. Can you leave us timestamps there so when watch it we can skip to interesting to me? I would be amazing. We did leave some timestamps there, so you want more, so not per session. Perhaps we can actually do it per game. So lineups to Leipzig, to PSG, Barca, things like that. Maybe. Salvador Magan saying, hello, are you Mexican? Sorry for the question, but I'm curious. I'm from Peru. Like Bashen said right there. But yeah, let's go into the lineup now that one of you asked not so that long ago. Robin Hamargren, you ask, what is our best lineup according to, well, moi. Let's go into Foothead, which is my place where I build my lineups. And I always have to say this, I don't play Ultimate Team. I really don't play Ultimate Team. But I like Foothead because it's fast. It's a snappy page, you know, it's snappy and I can build my lineups quick. So, Let's do it with the formation we saw right now, right? So if we're playing this formation, which is a 3-4-1-2, Tercen is there 100%. Here I'm going to put Serginho Dest. I think Dest or Roberto could play both incredibly well here. I don't really care who plays there, to be honest. Araujo, I'm going with fit players. Should I do fit players? Should I do overall players? If we're doing overall players, like players in their entirety, Piqué here could be good. Why? Because Piqué reads the game incredibly well. I'm better than Araujo. I'm better than the guy I'm going to put here, which is Lenglet. He reads the game better than both of them. But the thing is that he's not fast. He's not fast by any means. So the speed of Araujo here and the sort of speed that Lenglet has, it would be beneficial in that sense. In the left mid position, I would go certainly with Jordi Alba. I think Jordi Alba could improve a lot in this role because defensively he could struggle a bit, but attacking wise he retains that level. You know, he retains the level. So I will be perfectly fine seeing him in that position. De Jong here, Miralem Pjanic here. Busquets, personally, it will be interesting to see him in this role. Today he wasn't awful, but his passes, his reaction, his mental game is just not there. He really isn't there. So I think Pjanic should deserve the spot in that position. Here is where I have a little bit of doubt because we have so many players that can play in this position. For instance, you have PEDRI, which to be honest should be something like a 78-7 right now, honestly. Like, my goodness, 72 is way too little. So you could have in that number 10 position someone like Coutinho, someone like Ricky Puig play there. These two players are going to battle out for one position, to be completely honest with you. Ricky Puig in this formation could play where De Jong is playing as well. Could play right here. And Aleñá could play where Pjanic is playing. So we have some certain options in this part of the field. And who came in from Frankie De Jong? Oh, Busquets came, yeah. And up top here, Messi, of course, takes one of that spots. And here, Ansu Fati could play. I believe if Ansu Fati is fit, I would love to see him play here and start that transition as a striker. Because even though this position isn't central, it's not the main striker through the middle, like we saw with Martin Braithwaite sometimes when we were playing the 4-2-3-1. It gives Ansu Fati the ability to still stick to the left-hand side. And as a young player, Ansu Fati should use that as a way of knowing where to position himself in terms of during the game. As a young player, it's very easy to lose your position. And managers are very strict with it because in defensive situations, you have to stick to where your manager puts you. So playing somewhere like this could be helpful for Ansu Fati to play there. So I think, honestly, this would be Barcelona's best formation. If Barcelona had to start the Champions League final, this is a formation. This is a formation I would put out there on the side. Someone like Dembélé could play in a position like this. He could. He could play in a position like this. And honestly, the one player I could see just failing to achieve any sort of consistency in a formation, like the 3-4-1-2, is Trincao. That Trincao really is not any sort of variation of the attackers that could play in this formation. And likewise, other players that are struggling, like a Junior Firpo, could play here incredibly well. Junior Firpo played incredible and amazing at Real Betis in this formation. So he could improve. It's not that he couldn't. He could improve in this formation, honestly. So let's see how it goes. Let me return now back to the broadcast. Put Umtiti in the gulag. Put Umtiti in the gulag. What do you mean, man? What do you mean? To be completely honest, man, I am so bad at the 1v1s. I was good in Call of Duty back in my day, but the new Call of Duties are just so bad, in my opinion. They're so bad. Like, I miss my Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 for me was the best game. Mihailo Bojanovic saying again, I keep saying your full name, and I said I was just gonna call you Mihailo. Mihailo saying, yes, Vizca Barça is official Twitch streamer for Barça. Yes, I saw that, something that it was tweeted by the club. Terra Bull saying, what's up, Buga? What a good day was today. The team was unstoppable. I agree with you, Terra. It really, really was. Keith Fernandez saying, Buga, has you spoken about Serginho Dest? Not in its entirety, to be honest. Not really. because for me, Dest is now as a player that is just consolidated. Like when we see the Barcelona team sheet, I am expecting Dest to play. I don't know if it's the number 2 shirt, but it is like that position is his own. To be completely honest, he is just disappearing from my radar, but in a good way. I don't have to look at the lineup and feel pressured about Dest. He's so good in that way. I love his dribbling ability. He's able to get past players very easily. You see it many times and constantly throughout the game. He may not be the fastest as Melero once was. He may not be the most flair in attack like Dani Alves was, but he's gonna get there eventually. Defensively, he's okay. He's better than Roberto in my opinion. So I'm just good enough to see how it works. Saif Bakar saying, you should make an appearance on Barca Live in the next game because you're a person that talks facts. Thank you, Saif. Thank you. Adam Buxo saying, you pronounce Hungary well, haha. Like Hungary? I mean, it's just Hungary, right? How are you going to pronounce Hungary? Like Ungari? Ungari. That would be the worst way to pronounce it. Salvador saying, I'm from Peru too. Ooh, great. Causita, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Dominic Soboslai or Hussein Aouar? I like Dominic Soboslai more, personally, but probably because of the last name. Because his last name looks imposing. You look like Umtiti. Are you calling me? Joe TV saying Ansu suits perfect because he was a striker before. Yeah, indeed, he was a striker before. If you know about Ansu Fati, he started playing as a number 9 and playing as a left forward in so many different occasions. So I like that, and his instinct of play is very raw and natural. So I like that about Ansu Fati. To be honest, I really like. Umtiti ain't getting out of the gulag anytime soon, man. Umtiti is like there's a glitch with Umtiti. Umtiti. His team goes and buys him back, so that he can drop again. But it doesn't work with Umtiti. When you buy Umtiti, he has to go for this loading screen, waiting for it to load. Forza Barca saying Umtiti was in slow-mo today. I agree. But honestly, to defend Umtiti, in that situation where Umtiti did that blunder, I honestly think it's more due to the receiver. Umtiti did the right thing there, like trying to look for an outlet, but for an output to an outlook or whatever. But no one moved. So if I'm Umtiti there, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing really you can do. The problem in that occasion was that he didn't just kick it out. Like Umtiti should have kicked it out and not tried to attempt to dribble past the player. That was dumb. But that there are no receivers, that is something that as a receiver you need to be spot on. And who was the receiver? I think it was Busquets. So Busquets is slow. He needs to react faster to that, and Umtiti cannot do that. Cannot also try to attempt to dribble past the player. That would be so dumb to do. Team Oscarson saying, bro, where would you play Dembele? Bench, cam, something else? Dembele, I believe he could play very similarly where Ansu Fati plays, in that position that I showed you not so long ago. Do I still have it here? Yep, I have it here. So in this formation, I think Dembele could play where Ansu Fati is playing. But the thing is that Ansu Fati reads much better how to exploit the spaces through the middle than Dembele. Whilst I see Ansu Fati as a player that goes from the left to the center, I see as Dembele as someone that goes from the center to the left. I don't know if you know what I mean, but that is what I see with Dembele more. So it will be interesting to see how we develop. But also another thing that you could do is push this formation into something like this, where you have Messi centrally and then you have Ansu Fati here and then someone like Dembele here, or this could be Griezmann or whoever. So I guess this gives us more options in attack in a sense, So I'm not too bothered about how the front three plays, but it could happen. Well, have you ever thought about doing live match reactions on YouTube? Yes, I thought about that, Keith, but completely, to be honest with you, I enjoy watching games by myself. Like, I enjoy watching games, just me, the TV, and just sucking them in. I think that is something that is better for me. I just enjoy it more. I wouldn't necessarily do something that I don't enjoy. Like once in a time, I could do like the Champions League final if it's the case. I could do one, but I generally like to enjoy games. And if I'm doing this live stream, I don't think I'll get the chance to enjoy them as much as I would normally do. So I wouldn't do it, honestly. I wouldn't do it. I tried it. I enjoyed it okay, but not that much. Not that much. What I'm thinking, one time that I think about it though, is that I would kind of perhaps in the future, the kickoff. I would love to do something like the kickoff. I think that would be incredible. Mihailo Bojanovic saying, see, I just keep saying your second name. Vizca Barça did stadium blogs. He has over 130 blogs of Barça games. He has that scene where Messi destroyed Boateng 2015. He has that painted on his wall, in his room. He recorded it too. He was there. Oh, that's incredible, honestly. That is one thing that I want to have. I want to have like a proper house, now like a proper place to stay, because now I alternate between my parents' house here where I'm at, currently my house in Peru, and my house in England, in Bournemouth. So I alternate, right? So as soon as I am able to find a place where I have this stable job and can do YouTube normally and then just fix the room however I want to, I want something painted on my wall. I love that. I think it looks better than just a work of art. I am someone who paints. I'm an artist. People may not know this, but I'm an artist. Fable Football Junior won for the $1 donation. Good to see. I'm an artist, like I was saying. So for instance, let me do something that I have never done before. Look, this is my camera. You see that pirate ship with the flowers. That is something that I made. And then you see that picture of the girl there. I also made that on like art and Photoshop and things like that. I have more. This is not my best job. This is not my best job. I have to admit, I have more in my other room. But I like painting. I like art. I really like art. So you know what to give me for my birthday. My birthday is coming very soon on the 31st of December. So I'm expecting some gifts there, hopefully. Hopefully 25K by then. I want to finish the year with 25K, hopefully. Barca fan saying, as you did your squad, can you do one with our future squad like in 2 years from now? You know what? Maybe that's the last thing we could do before this live stream ends. I think that would be good to see. Asip El Fuad saying, assume Dominic Soboslai came to Barcelona. Will it harm PEDRI in Barcelona, considering they play in a similar position? Oh, 100%. Like, if you want Soboslai to come in, he wouldn't be able to play the formation of PEDRI. I think both of them are very versatile players. They could work in a kind of 4-4-2 with PEDRI for the left, Dominic Soboslai for the right. That could work in my opinion, but I don't know. It could be better. So I would like that to I would like to see how they would play together. But I honestly agree with you. I think it would harm PEDRI a lot. Amar saying, nice, those are sick. Oh, the painting. Thank you. I've been doing art for quite a while now. Like secret talents, you could say I have. Art. I like art. I'll show you something that I made as well if you want. Well, like all of the thumbnails that you see on screen are mine, like on YouTube. I love those thumbnails. Like doing just graphics like that, I like that. I like those sort of styles for people to do. You're gonna say, oh, this is so gay. Like this that I'm gonna show you now. This thing I made for my cousin. She's a designer, right? She does like clothes. So I made this for I taking pictures, I do collage, do things like that. I made that for my cousin that she does that designing thing. She does clothes. So maybe for Christmas I'm gonna give her that in like a real like a painting sort of thing, like printing. When is the next podcast, says Mihailo? The next podcast is not going to be for a while, mate. We did this demo just to see how it works, so then me and Pablo can get back to working. We're hopefully wanting to launch a website, wanting to launch a lot more things for the future. So yeah, it's going to take a while. We're hoping to release somewhere in early 2021. That is why you see it on the trailer on the podcast. Personal question, Eugene saying, what position do you love to play in when you lace up and get on the pitch? When you lace up, man, oh, we're lacing up. Oh, you missed the super chat. No, I got the super chat here. So before I get into Eugene and the lacing up, I'm gonna read the super chat. So Leonard saying, I know it's your super chat. I'm sorry, Leonard. Do you think a midfield of Pedri, De Jong, and what do you think a midfield of Pedri, De Jong, or Ricky Puig or Pjanic in that mix would be amazing at 4-3-3? I think Pedri, De Jong, Pjanic is the most balanced. I think Puig pair Pedri could be something that could work more or at least better in that sense. But for me, Pedri and Ricky Puig are very similar in what they can do. Pedri a little bit more versatile than Puig, honestly. We just have to see how it will line up, honestly. If we have, for instance, Pedri, Ricky Puig, and then someone like a Casemiro or Kante, it's fine because their defensive output is just simply so good, right? So that's what I would say. Kay saying, I feel bad for the number 10s of the La Masia. We are set for maybe 13 years and the youngsters are just going to get thrown in endless loans to Everton and Betis. And Betis. Big Drip Mo saying, Buga, do you like these Barca young players only line up? Peña, Firpo, Oscar, Araujo, Dest, De Jong, Puig, Pedri, Dembélé, Fati, Striker, and Trincao. I like that lineup, and I would love to see that in La Copa del Rey. I think I would love to see that. I really would. So, Eugene, right. What position do I play? I like to play weirdly. Normally, I play center back, but I don't like to play kind of like a left back either. I prefer to play like what Lenglet is playing, like a left-sided center back of a back three. I'm not left-footed, but I love to play there. I see better the pitch that way. So normally when we play a game, it can be, it depends on how many people are playing. If we're playing like 11 versus 11, I play there as a left center back, and because already with my group of friends, we all kind of play the same formation, like what we saw from Barca now. It's kind of like a three at the back as well. So I like to play there, but it depends. Like if we're playing just 5, I'm gonna still play there in that area. I like that. I should be a left back, I guess, to play that. I don't have the speed to be a left back, but to tuck inside like a Nacho Monreal, I kind of like that. Like a Nacho Monreal. Hasib Al-Fat saying, what do you think about Milinkovic-Savic? I'm pissed that the board doesn't make these sort of signings. I like Milinkovic-Savic, but I don't know that much of what he plays, honestly. I've seen his game, but I just don't know how he would fit in. He works very nice at Lazio because he has already that kind of midfield 2, midfield 3 sort of vibe that helps them. I don't know if Barcelona has the ability to line up with someone like him, but Milinkovic-Savic, I think, is an incredible player. Honestly, if Inter or Milan are getting close to their very best and they're going to make some huge signings, I wouldn't put it past it so that we could see someone like Milinkovic-Savic line up there. I am also learned we should sell Coutinho, Griezmann, Umtiti, and Firpo and get De Ligt and Gaia. I love De Ligt. I loved Gaia. I think Gaia is a very hardworking player, and I love those, as you know. De Ligt is an incredible also future center back for the future. And I love also how physically imposing he is. I think now the game is becoming way more physical, and that is something that, for instance, Lenglet struggles with. So I would love to see how that just is better. I just would love to see how that we improve in that sense. But overall, guys, we're already approaching 1 hour. Joshua Sarabia says, can we win La Liga? It's going to be hard. Atletico Madrid are pretty high up. I'm not going to lie to you. Atletico Madrid are, 31 points now? I think there are 31 points. Let me just look it up right now for you. La Liga table. Yeah, you see there, Atletico Madrid are with 32 points. Real Madrid 29, Real Sociedad 26, Barcelona 24, 26 for Real Valladolid as well. So, if Barcelona win 2 games, or 1 game per se, we're going to go out to 27, so somewhere around here, and be 3rd or 4th. And then we'll still need to catch up to Atletico Madrid. This is insane, guys. 2 matches that they need to play Atletico Madrid, and they will be up with 38 points. That is crazy. That is crazy good. The difference between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid could be all the way of, they win, there could be 32. It could be all the way of 6 points. It's a lot. It's quite a lot, especially if Barcelona's difference will be something like even bigger than 6 points. It will be almost 9, right? So we can win La Liga, but we do need some sort of consistency to do it. So just to finish off with that, I guess, I think could be better. So just to wrap up quickly, I'm going to answer these last few questions and then I'm going to leave. So Big Drip Mo saying, Buga, who is your favorite youngsters? Which one do you think is capable of winning the Ballon d'Or? Of Barcelona, Ansu Fati, certainly. And in the world, I think Haaland. I think, honestly, Erling Haaland will be better than Mbappe. Because, or at least be more recognized in a sense. Because what Haaland does is more natural to him. You know, he's a player that doesn't need a system to excel. So I guess that is where he'll be better in a way than someone like Mbappe. Mbappe does need a system. You'd see how sometimes he just doesn't excel that much. So that is what I feel of Mbappe. But Haaland, certainly Haaland. Rahim, did you notice Ter Stegen's reaction to Umtiti's frantic behavior? No, I did not. Michael saying good UCL season, 1. But 4th in La Liga finish. 2, La Liga first UCL round of the 16 out. I don't know what you mean. Footy Talk saying Merry Christmas from Mexico. Feliz Navidad a ti también. 8074. I just hope Barça wins either Copa del Rey or Supercopa de España. Something. We need to win something. Hydrate, says Monica Sandoval. I'm going to do that, Monica. I'm going to do that. It's almost empty, this thing. I don't know what's your question, Mijalo. I don't know what's your question. What would I take, I guess, is your question. So, would I take a good UCL season but 4th in La Liga finish? Or would I take 1st in La Liga and UCL round of 16 out? I'll take the second one because you're winning something. You're winning. It's super easy. You need to do a better question for the next one. So think about it, Mijalo. Think about it because your question was too easy to answer. Way too easy to answer. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for right now. See you on the next one. Take care. Enjoy Christmas. I think we're going to do a video before Christmas, right? Let me check. I don't know if we're going to do a video before Christmas. Like a live stream. No, we're not gonna do a live stream before Christmas. So I guess Merry Christmas to y'all and Merry Christmas. You're gonna hear from me again before. I think tomorrow I'm gonna upload a video or the day after that. So you're gonna see me before Christmas. But still,